Leafing through Albania's history, one encounters several interesting facts. Alexander the Great has roots here, and Julius Caesar was educated in its famous Apollonia. Skenderbeu, the hero who defended Europe and Christianity against the Ottomans in the 15th century for 25 years, was Albanian. Albania is the fatherland of Onufri, the well-known painter of Byzantium, and Mother Teresa, one of the biggest defenders of humanity in recent times. Albania is the country of the ancient Europeans where the Via Egnatia road passed, connecting east and west. Albania and Albanian culture is a continuation of Illyrian civilization, a contemporary of Hellenism and Rome. Butrinti and Apollonia, harbors and towns of ancient Europe, are in Albania, as well as Durahu, with its famous amphitheater and one of Europe's first universities. After the establishment of the first Albanian state by Skenderbeu in 1444, Albania fell under Ottoman rule and emerged on November 28, 1912, proclaiming independence. The 20th century was burdened with events which began in 1913 with the disintegration of Albanian territory and the division of Kosovo's territory outside Albanian borders. In 1925 began the 13-year reign of King Ahmet Zogu. A brief monarchy and territorial disputes colored the period between the two world wars. After 1945, Albania fell under Europe's harshest communist dictatorship. As a result, Albania was cut off from the rest of the world for several decades. In 1990, as Eastern Europe was opening up, Albania followed suit. Freedom, democracy, and pluralism were accompanied by political and economic transitions. Since that time, Albania has continued to march ever forward toward 21st century Europe and the world. The road and railway networks were built after the Second World War. Albania today counts 3,400 kilometers of roads and about 447 kilometers of railway lines. Most of the roads are under extension and repair. Transportation is one sector with investment potential, as Albania has the ability to function as a key transit country for the movement, storage, and regional distribution of goods in southeastern Europe. Several foreign investors are currently in talks with the government of Albania regarding various types of plans to get them involved in the rehabilitation of Albania's transportation infrastructure. Examples of such projects include the Durrës-Kukës Highway, which is expected to connect Albania with Kosovo, the Durrës-Rinës Airport-Tirana Light Rail System, General Electric project, the concession to rehabilitate, expand, and operate Rinës Airport awarded to an international consortium headed by Hochtief of Germany, and the various initiatives to develop Albania's ports. Durrës is Albania's largest port. The infrastructure and services of Durrës Port are under privatization. Albania's only international airport is the Mother Teresa International Airport. It is currently under concession to Airport Partners, a consortium composed of Germany's Hochtief, the Albanian American Enterprise Fund, and the German DEG Bank. The consortium is to invest in the airport's expansion and operate it for the next 20 years. Two other national airports are now under construction. Additionally, Lockheed Martin of the U.S. has recently signed a contract to invest in and operate the air traffic control system with financial support from U.S. Exim Bank, BNP Paribas, and others. Currently, Mother Teresa International Airport has 20 international connections per day. It also services helicopters and small private charters. Albania has many travel agencies catering to local and foreign travel requests. Specialized and custom-tailored countrywide trips are becoming more common as tourists continue to explore Europe's newest destination. Albania's wonderful Mediterranean climate is linked to its natural beauty and varied geography. The country is situated close to two warm-water seas, the Adriatic and the Ionian, ensuring that it enjoys 300 days of sunshine per year. The country has a coastline that is 427 kilometers long and very popular beaches of both sand and stone with conifer forests nearby. The Adriatic coast, with a length of 270 kilometers, is dominated by sand beaches that are very popular by tourists. Meanwhile, the Ionian coast is dominated by stone beaches about 150 kilometers long. Among the coast's beaches are many small, unexploited bays. Archaeological and historical sites can be found in abundance nearby. Churches, monasteries, and 3,000-year-old cultural monuments make for attractive tourist destinations. Of note are such ancient sites as Apollonia. This ancient city was one of the most important ports of its time, having served as a residence for both Julius Caesar and Cicero. Butrint, another ancient town under UNESCO protection, offers one of the most beautiful historical sites on the Mediterranean. Durahu, today's Durrës, continues as it has for the past 3,000 years to serve as the country's main port. The Durrës amphitheater is the biggest of its kind in the Balkans. Durrës has been witness to several kingdoms as well. Kruja, Berat, and Gjirokastra are other ancient cities that have been continuously inhabited for over 2,000 years and illustrate Albania's authentic medieval architecture. Lakes offer another attractive tourist destination. Albania has about 1,200 square kilometers of lake surface. The biggest lakes are Shkodra, Prespa, and Ohrid, with the latter being one of the deepest in Europe. The chaplet of Lura, with 7 glacier lakes, ascends to about 2,100 meters above sea level. The Albanian Alps in the northern part of the country ascend 2,000 meters above sea level. The mountains, with lakes and forests, pastures and traditional food, snow-capped peaks and valleys offer great potential for ecological tourism. Agriculture has been and continues to be a pillar of Albania's economy, generating a large portion of the country's GDP. The sector offers great potential for organic production, and processed products have a ready market both inside Albania and in the region. In recent years, factories for milk and creamery processing have also been built. Albania is a country with an abundance of natural resources. This small country of only 28,000 square kilometers has the 3rd largest deposit of chromium in the world, plus bitumen, copper, nickel, steel, and coal. Additionally, there are large reserves of bauxite and phosphates, as well as marble and limestone, the latter coming to 130 million tons. Several studies have been undertaken analyzing the possibility of privatizing the mining and minerals sector through various mechanisms. The government of Albania has already signed concessionary contracts for the management of Albakar and Albkram, the 2 government-owned companies operating in this sector. As to petroleum and natural gas, Albania is endowed with reserves of both. The country actually produces crude oil and wishes to bring in foreign companies under exploration and joint production agreements. Some of the companies that are currently operating in Albania include OMV and London. Several government-owned entities in this sector are also slated for privatization. The oil sector is state-owned and has been restructured and split into 4 companies. 2 of these deal respectively with searching and marketing. Searching and extracting are under the privatization process, which is planned to be completed within 2004. Over the past 6 years, Albania has enjoyed economic stability and persistent growth in its GDP. As the result of economic programs implemented during the past 10 years, the Albanian economy has enjoyed high growth rates, budget deficit reductions, and stable prices, with the exception of 1997. The average inflation rate for the period 1998 to 2003 was 3.5%. The economy grew 6% during 2003, which was the highest economic growth in the region for that year. All of this puts Albania in a favorable position compared with the rest of southeastern Europe.